Hi everyone, Charles here for MNU Papers. How are you doing? Today we will figure out how to find your next research topic and make a publication out of it. But first, let's have a short poll together. If you have any research experience, how many times have you wondered how to find a research topic? I've asked that question to a panel composed of a non-negative number of researchers, and here are the answers. 1% said at least 100 times, and the remaining 99% said 1,000 billion trillion times, or more, per second. So today we are going to answer that question and get you on track to present your work and shine at the top conferences of your field. For us in machine learning, that is called AI Stats, NeurIPS, and so on. Today I will show you that finding a good research topic and publishing it at the top journals and conferences is not about being a genius. It is not about having this or that major at university. It is not about luck. It is a job, like any other one, with a method to follow step by step. As a disclaimer, in this video, I will show you how to find a research topic by reading papers. There are other ways involving discussions and collaborations with others, but that is a topic for another time. In today's video, I will only unveil the valuable skill of finding a research topic on your own. This is for those of you who want to lead your research projects and be the first or single author of your work. And at the end of the video, I will give you one little tip to help you in the process, so watch till the end. Before we get into the core of the topic, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of the next videos. That's completely free for you and that really helps the channel. Thank you. Let's jump in. Find a research area and topic. The first step is always the hardest one. Where do we start? First, we need to find a valid area of research. By valid, I mean two things. One, you find it interesting, and two, some other people find it interesting. Do not neglect step one. I repeat, do not neglect step one. Hey, do not neglect step one. Do not neglect step one. A research project takes time, usually a year or so. If you're not interested in what you're working on, next year is going to be long, like the island. Now, how do we find such a research area? One way, read. Check out the famous journals and conference proceedings in your field. In machine learning, I have made a video covering some of the top journals and conferences you should have on your radars, right here. If you're interested, don't forget to check it out at the end of this video. The link will be in the description box down below. Now, pick one journal or conference proceedings of your choice and go through the list of accepted papers of the current year. All those papers are interesting to someone. There are researchers somewhere in the world who worked and are probably still working on those topics. Those researchers have submitted their work to a top conference or journal and have managed to convince other researchers reviewing their work that it was worth publishing in a top research venue. So all of those works are interesting for others. Now, it does not mean that they're all good or even correct, let alone that they're interesting for you. However, your next area of research is probably in there somewhere. And this is where you come into action. You're going to choose one research paper that you like in this pool of resources. Now, there's absolutely no way in the world you can read all of those papers, not even a tiny fraction of them. So what I personally do and recommend you to do is to go through the list of titles. When you see one title that sparks your curiosity, you can open the PDF file of a paper and read the abstract. Now, of course, let's be honest, at least for me, it is close to impossible to understand a research paper by only reading the abstract, unless this paper is really about my research topic. So you're not going to understand everything, but it will give you a rough idea about what's happening. What problem are they trying to solve? Is the work theoretical or applied? Do they study an existing method? Do they introduce a new algorithm? What are the potential applications of their work? And so on and so forth. Now, in many cases, especially if you're new to research, you may still be clueless after reading the abstract. But remember that the main goal of the abstract is supposed to tease the paper for potential readers, more than just summarizing it. So don't feel discouraged if you don't understand what's happening. It has been primarily designed to spark your interest. Then you can browse through the paper and see what type of paper that is. Is it a theoretical paper with a lot of math and proofs? Is it an applied paper with a lot of experiments? Are the experiments made on synthetic data generated by a computer? Have they been applied to real-world data, like MRI images or fragments of text? Theorems and experiment plots are worth a billion words. They tell you the results of a paper and what direction this paper is taking. Is it theory? Application? Both? At this stage, don't overthink. If it looks cool to you, then you can spend a good chunk of time reading this paper. And here, I have two tips for you. First, take your time. Reading and understanding a research paper takes time, especially in a new field. So you're not going to be done in 30 minutes, but take all the time you need to properly understand. It is way more efficient to spend 4 hours to really understand than 1 hour to have a vague idea, because that vague idea is not going to last longer than a carrot in a rabbit hole. And don't mind those who tell you that they read research papers in 5 minutes. Those are the carrots. Be the rabbit. My second tip is, don't avoid a paper simply because you don't like math or programming. I have seen so many researchers who gave up on one of those, especially math, and now their research and ideas are constrained by their math skills. So basically, my advice is, look at both theory and applications, and don't reject one or the other. Find ideas to solve the problem. Alright, we have read one paper. Now, what should we do? Well, basically repeat the same process a few times. Okay, I know, that sounds annoying. But for every paper that you read, you're actually doing 2 things at a time. Find a research topic and grow new research ideas. Now, this only works if you read research papers in various fields. Yes, Mr. Carrot, reading 20,000 papers on the exact same topic won't help you there. You also need to read something different. Otherwise, say bye-bye to new ideas. On the other hand, if you read papers in many different areas, you are going to make connections between them. You will see an idea in one paper, store it in some part of your head, and then when you read another paper, you will realize that you can use the previous idea that you saw. But you're also going to understand how those ideas arise, and you will grow your own. And yes, I am saying that reading papers can boost your creativity. Turn your idea into a paper. Now that we have an idea, we have a good basis for a research paper. Now, is the idea good enough for publication? There is a universal answer to that question. Yes. Any idea can be turned into a good paper with valuable conclusions for other researchers, whether it works or not. Either it works, good for you, or it doesn't. If it doesn't, then why doesn't it work? What is missing to make it work? Then can we show that this missing feature is necessary to make any algorithm work? What do you expect it to work? Are we misunderstanding the performance of an algorithm? So even if you get negative results, there are definitely ways to gain valuable insights from your ideas. I've made an interview with reinforcement learning researcher Zhang, who explains that very well right there, so don't hesitate to check it out at the end of this video. The link will be in the description box down below. Yet, there is one exception to the rule. Your paper cannot be published if someone else has had the same idea before, so make sure to check that nobody else has had that same idea. Now, this is the annoying part. You should check all the recent papers from the top journals and conferences on the same topic to see if someone else has had the same idea. Now, at that point, if you have already read a paper, found ideas and worked on the topic, then you're going to read much faster. Most likely at that stage, you will be able to understand most papers related to your idea by only reading the abstract. And that stage is going to be much faster than what you initially thought it would be. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it won't be boring or time-consuming. I'm saying it may be less boring than what you think. And if you are the first one to have that idea, then you are good to go with the paper. And guess what? Most people read papers on the same topic all the time. So if you make the effort to read papers in many different fields, then your ideas are much more likely to be new and innovative. How to read papers on different topics. Now, I know that reading papers in different fields is a difficult task, but what if I told you that you can do it in only 10 minutes? Yes, it is possible. If you subscribe to this YouTube channel, ML New Papers, I explain in 10 minutes recent research papers on many diverse topics in a hopefully nice and approachable way. I also introduce the background required to understand them, and therefore, that is a valuable resource for you to boost your creativity and your knowledge of machine learning. I will probably post more research paper videos in the next few weeks, so stay tuned. But right, that rounds out our video on how to find a research topic by reading research papers. Are you also looking for your own research topic? Let me know in the comment sections down below. I would love to hear from you. Again, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell icon. I would really appreciate. Also, don't forget to check out my other videos for more or less technical content. Thanks again so much for watching. I wish you a wonderful week and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.